get a little closer. I'll hold it myself. So maybe you could just identify yourself, where you're from, and your connection to gardening.
My name's Tree, and I run a community garden in the Mission. And I came out here to see if I could rescue some plants or stuff that's being torn down. Kind of looking for snails. I just talked to this biologist that said the native snail here, the snaggletooth, not the snag, what is it? The what? Land's tooth snail eats the bad snails. So I was trying to find some for our garden because we don't use any sprays. And I'm really enjoying it out here. It's kind of sad that it's all being destroyed. I don't know why they need another bridge, but it's kind of the way the city's going. It's development everywhere.
Can you comment on just the history a little bit of community gardens and green space from your perspective in the city, and how it's either been a priority or not a priority?
Well, in my life, it's been a priority to encourage people to spend time outdoors and have a connection with growing things. And the city there was a group called Slug that used to encourage community gardens everywhere, and then they went under. I think they overextended themselves and got into huge multi-million-dollar contracts and doing, job training, and they kind of lost the focus on encouraging just the small gardens and the community gardens. But San Francisco is a great climate to grow things in, and there's gardens everywhere. I've been gardening in this one garden for 20 years or so. And down the street, we just opened a garden a couple of years ago in a park, and we're still looking for gardeners to get involved. So I think, in general, people in San Francisco, it's hard for people to find time because of the rents or something. I don't know, to find time to be outdoors and grow their own food and have a connection with the earth in that way. But there's still a large number of us that are pretty crazy that way and like to spend our time outdoors a lot. So it's always sad when we see open spaces being developed or concrete being poured when there's such a need, not only for gardens, but for more trees to be planted too. I don't know if these trees are going to be cut down, but it's, unfortunately trees don't have as much standing as we would like in the city.
And can you comment a little bit about just the fact that this was a park that was developed in connection with the indigenous community that is from this area, the Ohlone, and how this is sort of reminiscent of the United States government way of just oppressing, or if it's just or just some kind of connection to
Yeah, I never
historical.
was really actually aware that there was a garden out here and that this was going on until I read about it. But all this land was, if you ever read this book, 2 Years Before the Mask by Henry Dana, it gives a really beautiful picture of what San Francisco was like before people started inhabiting it. And of course, it's kind of sad. I mean, that's the word I keep using over and over again. But I think there's hope in the sense that more and more people are becoming educated to the value of trees and the value of plants. More and more people, the consciousness is growing, so sometimes it's hard to see that consciousness growing in things. But I think that the spirit of the earth is stronger than humans, so if you just leave something alone, the weeds will grow, and I'm sure that even if there's a bridge here, the weeds will come back and take over.
Right on.
So.
All right. Well, hopefully, even in the sad day that it is, we'll bring new life to other green spaces all over the Bay Area through
Right.
this action.
Yeah, and we're transplanting some of the snails or whatever, the plants in other gardens, so things will keep going.
All right, thanks so much.
Sure.
Okay, in an urban setting.
I think it's really important because you have to like save the animals and stuff, and just because it's a kind of a space that's really polluted. And at first, when I saw the site, I thought it was kind of a little too polluted to be finding salamanders and frogs. But I mean, I guess they're here, and it's important to take them to the other side to rescue them. Yeah.
So, if there was a way for you to help prioritize things in the city government, which apparently citizens do have some influence, what kind of priority would you put on green space?
I would definitely just prioritize like projects like this, and yeah, that's about it.
Cool. And so, where do you think you'll bring these rescued salamanders and snails and frogs from today?
I think the frogs go not too far away. They're kind of about. I think they're about half a mile away in these little ponds and stuff. They have the breeding tadpoles.
Cool. And then, we be bringing any to your home?
No,
No.
probably not. Don't have space for them.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time out.